I call this meeting to order at 2 o'clock. Could we get land acknowledgement, please?
Before we get started with our meeting, Associated Students Incorporated at Sacramento State would like to take a moment to give honor and respect to the ancestors and to the diverse indigenous people connected to this territory on which we meet. The original stewards on this land belong to Nishinan, Patween, and Miwok Native Americans. Keep them in your mind, carry them in your hearts, and we ask that you take a moment to consider your ancestors and respect and your relationship to the land we are on. Thank you.
Thank you. Selma, could we get the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then do we have a moment of silence, Selma?
Yes, we do. I would like to acknowledge Skylar Rand, who would have been an incoming student from Sierra College. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa, could we get roll call, please?
Pacheco,
Present.
De La Garza Garcia,
Here.
Udani,
Here.
Estrella,
Present.
Andrade Dominguez,
Present.
Ayub Gulan,
Present.
Ducado,
Here.
Meja Diaz,
Here.
Hanchel,
Here.
Campbell,
Present.
Beltran,
Here.
Bolis,
Here.
Maria,
Here.
Babar,
Here.
Haber,
Here.
Curry,
Here.
Gallardo,
Here.
Montavo,
Here.
Lenmark,
Here.
Guerrero,
Here.
Reyes, Dunning,
Here.
Dalton, Rocha.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now for the next item, we are going to move to approve the approval of minutes of 5/11/2022 board meeting, 7/28/2022 special working board meeting, 7/28/2022 special board meeting, and 9/7/2022 working board meeting. Can I get a motion?
I motion.
I move,
Oh, I move.
and then you have to actually say it all over again.
Okay. I move the approval of minutes for 5/11/22 board meeting, 7/28/22 special working board meeting, 7/28/22 special board meeting, and 9/7/22 working board meeting. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Okay, now we're going to vote on it. So all those in favor for the approval of, all in favor of the approval of minutes for 5/11/2022 board meeting, 7/28/2022 special working board meeting, 7/28/2022 special board meeting, and 9/7/2022 working board meeting, please raise your hand. Okay, you may lower your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the minutes have been adopted. Okay, now we're going to move forward to public comment. Members of the audience may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board or any agenda item. If you wish to address the board, please sign the speaker identification sheet. When you are called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name and major clearly for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and the overall time is 15 minutes. Those wishing to speak on a non-agenda item will be called upon at the beginning of the meeting. Those wishing to speak for or against an agenda item will be called upon after the item has been officially introduced to the board. Every agenda item will be open for public comment before the board takes formal action on the item. If you have public comment, please step up to the podium right now. Okay, seeing none, we are going to move forward. Okay, and then right now we are going to have a special presentation by ASI 2021-22 Christy Norton Audit, and I would like to hand it over to Mark to go ahead and introduce this presentation.
Thank you, Chair. Much
Bob?
appreciated. Thank you. I'm bringing Christy up right now, so I don't know if she's. No. Wait for Chris to be there. We good?
We're just waiting for her to log in.
There she is. Welcome, Christy. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. The board, you might want to recall back to August 13th when we did a financial presentation on the budget and also the financial report. One of the slides that came up, it said an audited financial report for 21-22. Well, now we're going to have an audited financial report. The pages that I presented on the PowerPoint, the statement of financial position and activities, those did not change as far as the bottom line. I did mention that there might be some reclass with HERF money, which there was. It went down to the other category. But other than that, the bottom line did not change as far as those two categories, and anything in the audit report, it's just basically fine tuning, doing the notes and everything. So what you're going to hear is the auditors go through these pages and they're going to express an opinion on how we did as a corporation, ASI. I also want to thank Christy for her group and her professionalism and working with us for the last 9 years, and hopefully she'll also submit an RFP. But so thank you, Christy, for that. I also want to thank a group that's reserved in the front row here. We have Umberto, Michael, Elvia, Valerie's here too, and there's others from the department that did such a great job on this year-end close and this audit. So they're the ones who do all the push and pull out there and get it all done in the trenches. So I thank them very much for all the hard work they do. So with that, I think we're going to turn it over to Christine. She's going to go over the audit reports. And if you have any questions, we're here for question and answer time, and the team's here also.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. So I did want to just lead off with the opinion that was issued this year, which is an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion the financial statements can receive. There's no A+, there's just unmodified opinion, which seems a little lackluster, but it is exciting to all of us in the accounting realm. So congratulations to the team. The ASI team really does do a great job of keeping internal controls and the financial checks and balances throughout the year in order to earn that unmodified opinion. So what I'd like to do now is just share screen and just walk you through a few of the pages in the financial statement and just talk through a few of the highlights of this year's statement. So this is your statement of activities, and I just wanted to walk through a few of the sections that really fluctuated the most and kind of give you a little bit of background on what happened. And so you'll see 2022 here, the year that we just finished up compared to 2021. And you'll see that overall revenue increased just over $2.1 million. And the main fluctuations there really were key to these program services, which increased just under $1.5 million. So of course in 2022, we were much more open, the campus was much more open than it had been in 2020.
Okay, so due to these technical difficulties, I'm gonna call a 5-minute recess. And we'll come back at 2:16. Okay, we are back. So, Christy, I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. And I can start at the beginning. I'm not exactly sure when it cut out. Were you guys able to just hear the conversation about program fees, and I should pick up around other income, or should I just start at the beginning?
Other income.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the other income line increased just under $400,000. As you can see, it's new this year. We had zero allocated to this last year. So there was some PERF funding that came through. It's really a reimbursement of lost revenue because of some of the closures, primarily the Children's Center closure. That was around $187,000, excuse me, that was around $105,000, and then another $187,000 came in related to the Basic Needs Initiative funding, which is really funding that is meant to assist students in help graduation rates and mostly fund the food program. And so some good use of funds there and some new funds that ASI was able to receive this last year. On the expense side, you'll see that the expenses overall increased just about $1 million. And I think it's a little bit easier to see if I show you this based on the functional expenses. So this $9.2 million that you see here, I'm going to expand that a little bit for you and talk through just a few of those lines. Well, maybe a little too much there. So these highlighted lines here are what have the most fluctuation between years. And here's that total $9.2 million of expenses that we were looking at before. And these highlighted lines increased that $1 million that we saw before on the statement of activities. These first two lines here, the program supplies and purchases for resale, they increased around $290,000 related to food program pantry that we talked about a little bit earlier with that additional funding. Of course, that funding was spent on the grant's purpose, and so we were able to bulk up the food pantry and help students in that way. There was also just additional general supplies, like cleaning supplies and things like that related to coming back on campus and cleaning protocols. And then certainly with all the events that were going on, there were certain rentals of tables, chairs, things like that. And of course, with the graduation being held, caps and gowns and the cost of that is being here in these purchase for resale lines. The other big impact this year was in the salaries and related expenses, which increased around $600,000. And again, after the drop in closures in 2021, with reopening, additional students were able to be hired, which has certainly led to some of this increased cost. And keep in mind that every January, minimum wage also increases. So not only did the wage itself increase, but additional student employees were able to be hired this last year. And then finally, the travel expenses increased a bit, again, because travel restrictions were lifted. So with the overall revenue and expense fluctuations, the net income change for UEI was this net $1 million that you saw before on that statement of activity. Are there any, I'll just pause for a minute, are there any questions or comments from the management team related to the financial statements? If not, I will move over to the board report.
Is there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we can move forward.
Thank you. The board report is just a required communication between the audit firm and management and the board. And it really walks through responsibilities of the management team, which relates to the financial statements themselves and the preparation of all the schedules and footnotes. And then the audit opinion, which is, of course, the responsibility of the audit firm. It also talks through some of the estimates and disclosures, and just kind of gives a little bit of a highlight there, which just kind of gives you, as the board, a little bit more insight of what to focus on when reviewing those financial statements. The one area that I wanted to focus on today, though, is some of there was a adjustment that was recommended, or it was at least discussed during the audit, and I just wanted to talk through that a little bit with you guys as well. The overall investment and cash funds that are held with ASI are held in what's called the LAIF fund, so Local Agency Investment Fund. And that investment fund, just like any other fund in the stock market, can go up and down. Now, it's not as volatile as the stock market, but it still does have some volatility built into it, just because it does have underlying investments that are in the marketplace. That fund this year, or as of June 30, 2021, did have a decreased fair market value of $125,000. And that adjustment was not made into the financial statements. So when you're looking at the cash and cash equivalents line in those financial statements, there is a built-in fair market value factor that was not recorded into those financial statements. So you'll see that balance is actually increased more than the actual marketability of that fund. Now, when we talked to the management team about it, the generated loss in that fund this year, most likely will not be realized because all of those funds will not be liquidated from the account. And so we were comfortable moving forward without moving that adjustment into the statement. On a similar note, there was another adjustment that was not made into the financial statements, which related to $120,000 related to deferred tax assets. Again, we talked with the management team, and it just wasn't a significant enough adjustment in order to work through the statement. And so I just want to kind of let you keep that in mind as you work through the financial statements. But there are estimates built in, and there are certainly disclosures that help add to just the numbers on the statement. And so as you work through the statements, just keep that in mind. Are there any questions or comments related to the board report?
Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will kick it back to you guys with just one last comment that, thank you for letting me be with you here today, and also just thanks for letting me participate with the audit. The management team is just great to work with, and I just really appreciate the partnership.
Christy. Mark, do you have anything?
I am good, thank you.
All right, and then Christy, we will sign off now. Again, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. Now for the next item of business, we are going to move over to discussion of the strategic priorities for 2022-2023. Just for the sake of our constituents, a very brief explanation where strategic priorities are. These strategic priorities, we came up with them as a board during our retreat, and we're going to be working through them throughout the academic year. Board members were sent this, and they were told to choose whichever ones they want to work on throughout the year. Those will be presented, but just very brief discussion, since that's something that we are also going to be discussing later in the agenda before our board reports. As you can see, they're right there. I won't read through them now, not until we get to the agenda item. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, just kidding. We're going to be doing it right now. We're going to be reading through them. Okay, so for these are strategic priorities. 1.1, which is support personal and professional development. 2.0, foster a healthy community. 3.0, support ASI and campus initiatives. For 1.0, we have 1.1, which is promote professional development and collaboration with campus partners. 1.1.1, we have support Dreamers students incentives grant and college corp. Okay, and then the responsible parties for that, we have our VPUA, Alexa, and our College of Education Director, Z. I see. Okay, so VPUA and EDU, are you guys going to be doing both things? Alexa?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Could we maybe move that to, I guess, the middle where it's kind of both of them?
Do it 2 times.
Or do it 2 times, whichever one works best. Does anybody have anything they would like to edit on this document? Okay, seeing none, we have 1.1.2, explore on professional clothing drive. The parties responsible are the president, myself, our VPUA, Alexa, our director of SSIS, which is Veronica, and our director of graduate students, which is Urvashi. Is there anything somebody would like to add on this or change? Okay. Okay, and then if we could just add the execute clothing drive, just add those responsible parties right next to that also, I believe that'd be awesome. Thank you. And then after that, we have 1.2, speed networking with Alumni Center. 1.2.1, collaborate with Alumni Center Association and other campus partners on speed networking event for students. Party responsible are the president, the executive vice president, our vice president of academic affairs, which is Natalie, our college director, our director of engineering and computer science, which is Tej, and our director of undeclared, which is Sachi. Is there anything anybody would like to add or change? Natalie?
I didn't sign up.
Speaking to the mic, please.
I didn't sign up for this strategic priority, so I don't know how my name got in. So if you guys can please remove my name.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Izzy?
I did sign up for this priority, so if you could add my name to this, that'd be good. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. Any other discussion or changes or questions on this? Okay, Seeing none, we are going to move forward to 1.3, which is collaborate with Carlson Center for Entrepreneurs. 1.3.1, explore the opportunity to provide a matching student entrepreneur growth grant. Parties responsible are VPF, Dravisha, VPAA, which Vice President of Academic Affairs, which is Natalie, our College Director of Natural Science and Mathematics, and our Director of Undeclared Students. Is there any discussions and changes on this? AZ.
I also signed up for this priority, so if you could add me, that'd be good. Thank you.
Okay. Natalie?
I also didn't sign up for this one, so my name can be removed.
Okay, no problem. And then we might want to add those, repeat those parties responsible under the term of feasibility, please. Thank you. The next one we have 2.0, foster a healthy community. 2.1, engage in wellness campaign. 2.1.1, engage in wellness activities / sponsorships / partnerships with the board. The parties responsible are President Salma, our Vice President of University Affairs Lexa, our Director of Arts and Letters Adderall, our Director of Health and Human Services Chris, and our Director of Natural Science and Mathematics JD. Are there any discussions or changes on this? Okay, seeing none. Also just add thank you. Okay, after that we have 2.1.2, promote the wellness campaign initiatives. That is all board. Is there any questions or discussions on this? Risha?
It seems like nobody signed up.
It seems like nobody signed up for the first part, so I don't know if you want to completely remove it or someone wants to sign up for it.
Okay, good catch. I did not realize that. Does anybody want to sign up for this priority? Okay, if nobody signs up on it, we're gonna take it off entirely. So, we're gonna give you guys 3 seconds. JD?
May you explain what the responsibility is?
Can you speak into that?
May you explain the responsibility of it?
Yeah, Dravisha?
It just means you need to set up a meeting with someone from Student Health and Counseling Services and ask them if you can do social media, not only you, if someone from the board can do social media takeovers. And that's it, just how you are like experiencing wellness in your day, how you eat healthy breakfast, how you go to the gym and stuff like that.
So it's like a, kind of like a day in life, but, promote healthy living. Selma?
So then would this person also assume the responsibility of delegating someone to do the takeover? Or would they just explore the idea and then present it to the board?
Dravisha?
Since it clearly says explore, it means they just have to explore it. If they don't want to go ahead and do it, or if no one else wants to do it, then you can just drop it. Since it says explore the possibility, not do it.
Does that answer?
Sure.
Okay. JD, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Gina?
Excuse me. I think because this is an explore, it needs to have a mid-year, at least a mid-year timeline. Because then if you plan to do anything, you need to execute it by the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. JD?
I will sign up.
I don't know. Thank you, JD. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Now we're going to move forward to 2.1.3, promote healthy living through an incentive-based activity / game. The parents responsible are going to be the Executive Vice President, myself, our Vice President of Finance, Dravisha, and our Director of Health and Human Services, Chris. Are there any discussions or changes on this? Okay, seeing that, we can move forward. Yes, can you add that to the second part of it too? Awesome. Okay, 2.1.4, working with campus partners, such as Inclusive Excellence, Pride Center, SHAC, etc., to discuss safety and educate about continued COVID and monkeypox safety. The parties responsible are going to be our President, Salma, and our Director of HHS, Chris. Are there any changes or comments on this? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna be moving forward. Now we have our 2.2, support basic needs initiatives, 2.2.1, support campus partners on the basic needs resource fair. Parties responsible, our Vice President of Finance, our Director of Arts and Letters, our Director of Uncleared Students, and our Director of Graduate Studies. Is there any discussion or changes on this? Okay, seeing none. What? Errol?
Is September 15th a hard date? Because that's in 2 days, or that's tomorrow.
Divisha?
So Sachi already has a meeting on 15th, so she's gonna take the lead on this one. And all we need to do is see how the meeting goes and then help her however she needs us to with the basic needs resource plan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're gonna move forward, 2.2.2, explore placing a permanent link on portal, MySac State for basic needs. Parties responsible are Vice President of Academic Affairs, Natalie, our Director of Arts and Letters, Director of Business, Director of Education, Director of Engineering and Computer Science, Director of Natural Science and Mathematics, and our Director of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. Is there any discussions or changes on this? Okay, saying none, we're gonna move forward. 2.2.3, advocating to enhancing the basic needs website. The party responsible are Vice President of Academic Affairs, Natalie. Is there any discussions on this? Veronica?
I would like to sign up to this one as well, please.
Awesome, thank you. Any other discussion or changes? Gina?
I think we should just change the word enhancing to enhance.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion or changes on this? Okay, great. Now the next one, we have 3.0, support ASI and campus initiatives. 3.1, believing in an inclusive campus. 3.1.1, support the anti-racism and inclusion campus action plan, in concert with inclusive excellence. That is an all board responsibility. Is there any changes or discussions on this? Okay, then we move forward. 3.1.2, collaborate on a cultural celebration. Our parties responsible are Executive Vice President and Director of Education. And then to post and repost on social media and on your bulletin boards, if you have one, is an all board responsibility. With an end of year also. Is there any changes or discussion on this? Veronica?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that there were two separate ones. That's why I didn't sign up for it. But I'm already at my 5 max. Can I switch? Because I would like to be on that one, the first part of it. Should I switch one of my other ones?
Yes, but give me a minute. Duration.
So if you're including the all board ones in your 5, that's not.
Yeah.
You can sign up for like 3 to 5, which are not all board, if I'm not wrong.
Right, the all board is like non-negotiable. That's something that it should be like low-hanging fruit. Is that Veronica?
Yeah, I'm already at my 5 despite the all board ones.
Okay, so which ones did you want to switch, Veronica?
I will just take out the last one that I just added and switch it over to this one right here.
Okay.
The 2.2.3 and switch it over.
So switch 2.2.2 to 2.2.3. Is that correct?
Yeah, so take me out of 2.2.3 and then add me to, keep me on 2.2.2. I just added myself to that one, so you just removed me from 2.2.3 and then add me to the cultural celebration one instead of that one. Yeah.
Next page up.
Okay.
So yeah, just add me to that, the 3.1.2.
Got it.
And then I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, where were we? Are we in 3.2.1? Lexa?
I would like to add myself to 2.2.2
3, advocating to enhancing the basic needs website.
Okay, any other discussion, changes, questions? Okay, seeing none, we are going to be moving forward to 3.1.2. Wait, did I say that? Collaborate on a cultural celebration. Did I say that already? Okay, sorry. 3.2, participate in civic engagement. 3.2.1, support Sacramento State's participation in the California State Student Association, otherwise known as CSSA. That is an all board. Is there any discussions or questions, changes on this? Okay, seeing none. We have 3.2.2, support the Office of Governmental Affairs, otherwise known as OGA, with active participation in events and initiatives. This is an all board. Is there any questions or changes, discussions on this? Okay, seeing none, we have 3.3, which is promote ASI. 3.3.1, promote board meetings. That is an all board, which I have already seen some of you guys do in your positional accounts. Thank you for that. Is there any questions or discussions on this? Okay, seeing none, we have, I believe you just scroll down, please. We have 3.3.2, collaborate with Student Affairs podcast to promote ASI. Parties responsible, our Director of Arts and Letters and our Director of Education. Is there any changes, discussions, questions on this? Z?
I would like to be removed from 3.3.3. I signed up for 3.3.2. I signed up for 3.3.3.
Okay. And you signed up for the one after 3.3.3? Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. Is there any other discussion, questions, changes on this one before we move forward? Okay. Now we have 3.3.3, explore portal information for ASI board and program. We have our Vice President of Academic Affairs, our Director of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies, and our Director of Education. As the parties responsible, is there changes, questions, discussions on this item? Or on this priority, sorry. Okay, seeing none, we have 3.3.4, connections with commuters. We have parties responsible, our Vice President of Academic Affairs, our Director of Business, Engineering, Computer Science, Social Sciences, and Interdisciplinary Studies, and graduate students. Is there any changes, discussions, questions on this? Okay, seeing none, I think that does it. So we're going to be voting on this later in the agenda. Okay, our next item, we are going to move to consent calendar. Is there anything that needs to be moved to consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, now we're going to be moving to new business. The first item of business is 2022-23-0911, Budani Estrella Pacheco, Financial Committee appointments. Can I get a motion? Bishop?
I move to approve 2022-23-0911 Budani Estrella Pacheco Financial Committee appointment.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any discussions? Bishop?
So I have added at least 3 or 4 more people after a board meeting because they went through student affairs. There is a lot more, there's no more seats left even in the room for finance and budget, which we are really happy about. We are at max capacity. I'm pretty sure Mark is really proud of me right now. And the scholarship committee also has minimum required people. I'm still looking for some, just in case if anyone knows anybody, please let me know. And that's it.
Amazing. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move forward to a vote. All in favor of adopting 2022-23-0911 Budani Estrella Pacheco Financial Committee appointments, please raise your hand. Okay, you may put your hand down. All opposed, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, the motion has been adopted. Okay, next item, we have 2022-23-0912 Estrella Pacheco University Committee appointments. Can I get a motion? Alexa?
I move to approve 2022-23 0912 Estrella Pacheco University Committee appointments.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alexa?
Yeah, so I have added a lot of students to university committees. And we are still looking for 4 graduate students to fill university committees, as well as for 10 university committees that currently have no students interested. As for the other ones, there is at least 1 or 2 students interested. So I would like your help to get some students to be on these university committees.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or discussions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to be moving forward to a vote. All in favor of adopting 2022-23? Oh, wait a minute.
We're already voting.
Are you voting or do you have a question?
Oh, sorry, voting. My bad.
2022-23-0912 Estrella Pacheco University Committee appointments. Please raise your hand.
No, we're not. Okay.
All right, you may put your hand down. All opposed, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, the motion has been adopted. Now we're going to move forward to 2022-23-0913 Estrella Pacheco recommendation to the president for university committee appointments. Is there a motion? Alexa?
I move to approve 2022-23 0913 Estrella Pacheco recommendations to the university president.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Are there any discussions? Alexa?
Since the last board meeting, we have added a couple more students. For the Alcohol Advisory Council, JD Beltran will be the designee, as well as for the I believe that would be for all of them, but we're also still looking for other students. So if you could please help me with that. Thank you.
Okay, Selma?
How many more students do you need?
Alexa?
For all the students that we need, there's currently 10 university committees that have no students interested. I would have to look back to see the total amount of university committees, but the rest of them have at least 1 or 2 students interested. So as of right now, 10 university committees. I need help with finding students as well as 4 graduate students.
Okay, awesome. And then I do have a comment on this, but I think I have to pass it over.
Needs to make an amendment.
Make an amendment. So can I pass it over to you? I'm supposed to be on.
No, you couldn't. You were already supposed to be on it.
Yeah, but it's not the legislation, so I want to make an amendment to add myself on there.
So it's an amendment, so you can pass it to your vice chair.
My vice president voted in. That's right.
I'm going to pass it over to our parliamentarian for as my temporary vice chair for now.
Thank you. You would like to be recognized? Uh-huh.
I move to amend the Intercollegiate Athletic Advisory Committee to add myself on there as the president's designee.
If there were I'm sorry.
So the amendment is to add the EVP to the Intercollegiate Athletic Advisory Committee. Was there a second?
Second.
Thank you. So it has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Please lower your hands. All those opposed? Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Now return the chair. You're good to go. We just voted on the amendment. You were already at it.
Oh, so we don't have to vote on the actual list this time overall?
We will, you have to vote on it overall, yes.
Okay.
But you can take that vote because we just did the amendment.
Okay, awesome. Now we're gonna move to a vote for the 2022-230913 Estrella Pacheco recommendation to the president for university committee appointments. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, you may lower your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. Okay, the next item, we have 2022-230914, De La Garza Garcia, Estrella Pacheco, internal committee appointments. I'm going to pass it again to Tammy because this is me.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
So do we have a motion?
I move to approve 2022-230914, De La Garza Garcia, Estrella Pacheco, internal committee appointments.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, so these are my internal committee appointments. As you can see, the ASI Marketing Committee and ASI Memorial Scholarship Committee, I still need students. Urvashi, just to address you, you were appointed last board meeting, or last formal board meeting, so you were on this. It doesn't continue to like carry over. You're on this committee. I just want to put that out there. I actually just got clarification on what the ASI Marketing Committee is, and this is ASI Marketing for all ASI departments. So I want to say it's maybe a little bit of a step up from the SMO, the Student Marketing and Outreach Committee, and I just got word on what it is. So students that are very interested in like the marketing and want to be a part of like the marketing for the whole entire ASI departments, please send me their information so I can contact them. And then as you can see, for Student Academic Senate, our Vice President Academic Affairs has been doing an awesome job. She gave me some very good pointers, so if you have trouble, just like I did, I'll own up to it, be very transparent that I've been having trouble recruiting. Please go talk to her. She has very good advice. And then that about does it. We could always use more students.
Is there any other questions or discussion on this item? Yes. Sandra, sorry.
Oh, good. I just wanted to scroll down. I wanted to see if we've had an appointment for Student Social Justice and yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a deadline for the students to apply, or is it open all year long for committees?
So I'm going to address what you said. There was a lot of other students that did not get back to me in time for me to put them on this. I was on the phone with some of them and they said that they want to, but they need to fill out that committee interest form, and until I have that, I cannot put them on there. So there is more than these two, but they just haven't gotten back to me. I can't move forward until they do the committee interest form. And then JD, there's no deadline as far as I'm concerned, but for Student Academic Senate, Natalie, I don't know if there's a deadline. Maybe you can answer.
There's no deadline, but I wanted to get as many students appointed before the first meeting. Students can still attend if they're not officially appointed, but if they want to be a voting member, they have to complete the committee interest form and get appointed officially.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion on this item? Yes?
I need clarification because I know that IE sent out a request for students to sit on a few committees, and I'm not sure of where that went or how that happened. So if you have any update for us, we would appreciate it.
Can you remind me which committees they were?
Well, I don't know all of them. I'm sure Dr. Setos Tidwell sent an email, but I know that I have two committees that I haven't heard about here that I would like filled, so if someone could help.
Okay, any other refreshers? So,
Sorry, here you go.
Lisa?
Thank you. Yes, Rob. Mia did send an email and asked for 2 students to serve on the AICP committee, and Lexa Estrella was appointed earlier on the earlier piece of legislation, and we're still looking for a 2nd student.
Can I,
I
oh,
can
yeah,
ask,
thank
yes,
you. Okay, so then we have 2 more committees. How does that work? Thank you.
Lisa?
If anyone on campus ever begins a committee formally through the university process, they can send an email to the ASI president with CC to me, and we'll have our staff work together with SALMA to have students appointed. It's ideal if we know the name of the committee, who the chairperson is, how often the committee meets, what the exact membership is, and then we can seek out the perfect student for your committee.
Wonderful, thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, we will go ahead and go to the vote. All those in favor of 2022-23-0914, De La Garza Garcia, Estrella, Pacheco, internal committee appointments, please raise your hand. Thank you. Please lower your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now we're going to be moving forward to the next item, which is 2022-230915, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Faculty Senate Committee appointments. Is there a motion? Natalie?
I move to approve 2022-2023-0915, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Faculty Senate Committee appointments.
As moved to second it, is there any discussion? Natalie?
I have added 3 more students since our last board meeting. They just needed to complete the committee interest form. All my committees are filled. I don't need any more undergraduate students. I just need 1 more graduate student for Academics Policies Committee. So I sent out an email to Edwashi, and I'm working with her to find that student.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Okay. We're going to move forward to a vote. All in favor to opt 2022-23-0915, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Faculty Senate Committee appointments. Please raise your hand. Okay, all opposed? I'm sorry, lower your hand. All opposed? Raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, the motion has been adopted. Now we're going to move forward to 2022-23-0916, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Great Appeal Panel appointments. Is there a motion? Natalie?
I move to approve 2022-2023-0916, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Great Appeal Panel appointments.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Natalie?
Great Appeal Panel Committee is also full for undergrad. I just need 1 more graduate student. And I'm also working with Urvashi for that.
Amazing, thank you. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we're going to be moving forward to a vote. All in favor to adopt 2022-23-0916, Andrade Dominguez, Estrella Pacheco, Great Appeal Panel appointments, please raise your hand. Okay, lower your hand. All opposed? Okay, the motion has been adopted. The next item, we have 2022-23-09. Okay, the next item, I'm actually going to pass it again to Tammy because this is my item.
The next
Yes.
Okay, we are on item 2022-23-0917, De La Garza Garcia, Pacheco, appointment of vice chair to the board of directors. Is there a motion?
I move to approve 2022-23 0917 de la Garza Garcia Pacheco appointment of vice chair to the board of directors.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, so after some careful consideration and a couple interviews, I was able to, I am recommending Veronica Bulos, our Director of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. She has displayed very exceptional skills already so early in the semester, to where she shows this initiative that she wants to continue to learn, that she wants to pick up new responsibilities, and I really acknowledge that, and I really couldn't find anybody fitting for that vice chair position other than her, so it was, it was a decision that I'm just very happy that I was her, that she was one of the ones that I interviewed. The impact to this, obviously, she's going to be the vice chair. So what you're seeing, Tammy and I do this back and forth when I have a piece of legislation. Veronica's going to be doing that. So if you guys could all just show your support, Veronica, once we vote you in, we'll show some support. I'm going to hand it over to Tammy.
Is there any other discussion or questions on this item? Seeing it. Yes?
Can I vote, or do I have to abstain?
That is a wonderful question. You may absolutely always vote for or against yourself for anything, not just an election, but literally anything, even if you're on a committee and your committee is going somewhere and you're getting money from the board, always, always, always vote for yourself, people. Are there any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we will head to a vote on 2022-23-19-17 De La Garza Garcia Pacheco appointment of Veronica Bolas as the vice chair to the board of directors. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Please lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. And as the vice chair, the next two items belong to the chair. So you'll be chair. Got it, trade, please.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Just leave that there. Bring your body. Bring your body and your agenda. Well, we'll keep the EVP's agenda. Just read it.
2022-23-09-18 De La Garza Garcia Pacheco appointment of secretary to the board of directors. Is there a motion? Laura?
Yes, I move to approve 2022-23-09-18 appointment of secretary to the board.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded.
Seconded?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Laura. Yes, so another appointment that I'm very happy to make. Secretary to the board, we have our Director of Arts and Letters, Adderall. Again, after some careful consideration, I found that Adderall has been very organized and has this very aesthetic way of organizing his things. And one of the biggest things is the whiteboard that you all see that's been kind of messy in the board of directors room. Adderall's in charge of doing that and taking some minutes as well. So if you see your board looking all pretty, like Adderall. And that's all I got. I'm very happy to make this recommendation as well.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we're going to move to the vote. (2022-23-09-18) De La Garza Garcia Pacheco appointment of Adderall to secretary to the board of directors. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Lower your hands. All those opposed, raise your hands. The motion passes unanimously. Twenty 230919 De La Garza Garcia Pacheco 2022-2023 attendance policy. Is there a motion? Laura?
I move to approve 2022-230919 attendance policy.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussions? Laura?
Yes, so we talked about this at our working board meeting, but for the sake of transparency to our constituents, this is the revised attendance policy to you all. One of the things to note that everywhere where it says 7 minutes, hold on a minute. Where it says 7 minutes, that used to be 15 minutes, but we changed it to 7 minutes. Again, just because 10 minutes was a lot, 5 minutes was way too little for me. So this is just some of the things that the board has to keep in mind, while they're asking or considering respectfully. Let's see. And then there is a little section where if there is any extenuating circumstances, I really hope it doesn't happen to anybody. Please, everybody stay safe. And if anything, if something happens, just please come to me and let me know. Let's try and be timely about this, and let's communicate. That's all.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll go right to a vote. Everyone in favor, raise your hands. You can lower your hands. Everyone opposed, raise your hands. All right. Seeing none, the motion passes unanimously.
So you have a choice now. You can either stay right here or you can return the chair to the EVP.
Your choice. Your absolute choice.
Yes.
Take the power. I'm going to stay here.
All right.
2022-2309-20 Budani, adoption of the audit for 2021-2022. Is there a motion? Mr. Bishop?
I move to approve 2022-2309-20 Budani, adoption of the audit for 2021-2022.
Second.
It is moved and seconded. Is there any discussions or questions? Mr. Bishop?
Okay, last working board meeting, there was not a lot to discuss, but today there is. You already saw the presentation from Christy. However, the ASI Audit Committee also met on Friday, September 9th, where I was present, even though I wasn't a voting member. Mark was present, and we had the 4 students that I had appointed during the September 28th meeting. All 4 of them showed up, yes. There is also a letter, if you scroll down, Emily, there's a letter from the ASI Audit Committee saying that everything looks good, everything looks great, you should definitely pass this. However, I'm going to pass it on to Mark if he has anything else to say, if Chair allows.
Mark?
Thank you. Yes, as Dravisha said, the audit committee met last week. It was about an hour and a half long with some good questions from staff, faculty staff. We had campus staff and also students. So they did ask us some good questions that were pretty in-depth. We are here for any last-minute questions on the audit, myself, and I see HPs in the audience still. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and also looking for a favorable vote for this audit, and much appreciated. And once it's approved, as I said, it will be approved. Once it's approved, then we'll post that on the ASI website for transparency reasons.
Any other questions or comments? Sandra? Oh, not Sandra. Jean, sorry.
I just wanted to let you know that, my title is CFO designee, and the CFO of the university, my boss, Jonathan Bowman, is responsible to ensure that all of the auxiliaries of the university, of which ASI is one of them, have clean financial statements. They have a budget process that's approved through his office as the president, and it's something I report to him regularly. I had communication with Mark after the audit committee meeting, and based on the recommendations, we did talk about the things that Christy pointed out, which was the differences that were highlighted there, and about the fact that, we're not gonna pull our own money out of Five Star Bank, those sorts of things. So we have those discussions that happens with the campus. I informed Jonathan of the outcome of that audit, so I just want you to all be aware that this is taken very seriously by the CSU, by the campus, that clean audit is extremely important. There have been other auxiliaries and organizations. I've never actually seen ASI come back with anything that I remember, and so it's a critically important part of being a corporation, being a transparent corporation, and then also the campus is looking very closely to ensure that the auxiliaries are functioning appropriately. So I also hope you vote favorably.
Are there any other questions or discussions? Sandra?
I do want to just take this opportunity to thank Mark and his team, and Roberto Perez, who's sitting outside, who's ASI's. For those of you who don't know him, he is our accounting manager. So he manages the team of accountants, and they're the ones who do the really hard lifting, like processing every check, processing, every receipt. They do the books for the union as well. So it's like they're very busy. This is their busy season that I'm hoping he takes some time to rest after we can pass this. But I do want to thank his team because they're the ones who are doing the heavy lifting. Their summers are on the lighter side for the government office, but they're the very much busy time for the business office. So thank you to them, and show their appreciation for another great clean year for us.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussions? Let's move to a vote. Everyone in favor, raise your hand. Lower your hands. Everyone opposed, raise your hands. The motion passes unanimously. (2022) 230921 De La Garza Garcia Pacheco 2022-23 ASI Board Annual Strategic Priorities. Is there a motion? Selma?
I move.
Perfect.
2022-23
To approve.
To approve 2022-23-0921 De La Garza Garcia Pacheco 2022-2023 ASI Board Annual Strategic Priorities.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Laura?
All right, so like we talked about, these are strategic priorities for the year. As our constituents saw, we did some tweaking, some moving, adding, removing. But these are the ones that we are going to vote on. These are the ones that we are going to be focusing on for the academic year, servicing our students. All of the board of directors came up with this, keeping constituents in mind. So we're really hoping that our constituents engage in the activities and the projects that we're going to be doing this year. I want to thank everybody that was very active in doing this. Everybody, obviously. And let's get the year started. It's about to get really busy, but it's going to be really fun. Trust me.
Thank you. Are there any other discussions or questions? All right, we'll go to a vote. Everyone in favor, please raise your hand. Lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. All right, the motion passes unanimously.
You can keep it, I just need the board report that's in there.
You have all the other board reports.
No, it's over there. Just all that, just hand me all that.
Hand you all of this?
Yes. And then
Or just yours?
Take that, no, mine's in my pad folder, yeah, and then that's for her to know,
Got it.
time-wise.
Okay, so we're moving on
ASI executive officers, ex-officers, and advisor reports.
ex officio.
Oh, ex officio. And advisor reports.
3 minutes plus 1. They get 3 minutes plus 1 minute for questions.
All right, so everyone will get 3 minutes plus 1 for questions.
This first one, I'll time for you. The first one was like 5. So call.
Salma Pacheco, ASI President and CEO.
You want to say it? Okay. She knows. So, as soon as you start talking, I'll start typing.
Hi everyone. So my office hours are on Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. and then Friday 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or by appointment. Sometimes students just kind of show up and meet with me whenever if I have time, which I totally encourage if I'm there. My contact information is on there. Please follow me on Instagram. But a special note from me to all of the Hornets. So, hi Hornets, welcome back to campus fall 2022. I'm so excited to kick off this year with you all. There are lots of super fun and informative events coming up, and I hope to see you there. I'm honored to serve all 31,588 students and be your strongest advocate. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me and I will do my absolute best to assist. Remember, your voices matter and you are the most important stakeholder on our university. Please remember to take care of yourself in all aspects and ask for help when you need it. Kind regards, me. So as you can see, I'm a part of
30 seconds.
Oh, can you go down to the meetings? Those are the committees I'm a part of, and then these were the meetings that I was a part of from June to September. Yeah, till yesterday, which was a lot. If you guys have any further questions about it, then we can have a longer discussion. But there's a lot in there. I'm tired. But yeah, so just some highlighting things. I did a lot.
Are there any questions? Laura? Is there anything specific on there that you want to highlight? 1 item, 2 items, just anything that you did that stands out to you that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so the Associate Vice President of Budget and Planning position, search committee, is still ongoing, but that was a super awesome and intense committee to serve on. There was a lot of time dedicated to that, as well as regarding my last resolution from our first special board meeting. There's a lot of movement regarding mental health, so there's lots of updates.
Horrible thing.
It's okay.
No, that was not.
Oh, also, just to let you guys know, you don't have to read the announcement out loud because it's going to be posted online, just to save you guys some extra time. All right, so the next one is from Laura De La Garza Garcia, ASI Executive Vice President. Okay, well, office hours are posted, my Instagram is there, my note to my Hornets, I hope you guys read it. Please engage into the ASI website, specifically where the board reports are posted, because that's where you're gonna see what I have been up to, what everybody here that's sitting on the board has been up to. Some specific things that I wanna know are that I have all my internal and university committees that I'm a part of this semester, so that I was very happy to get that taken care of early. During my office hours, it's been a lot of catching up. I have been having, I'm not gonna lie to my constituents, a very hard time transitioning into this new role with new responsibilities. And with transitioning to all in-person classes, I haven't had in-person classes since 2019, so it's definitely a switch. I've been calling students, thanks to Natalie, because I did come up to her to ask for advice on how to recruit students, and I thought she was doing an awesome job. And calling is a lot of fun, let me just say that. So constituents, if you get a call from me, please answer. And let's see, I signed up for my strategic priorities. There's no updates on that because we just adopted them today. We had the honor to be featured on a Sacramento State Communications article featuring Salma, me, and a couple other board members. We got to be a part of that article and just take some pictures, and that was a lot of fun to just interact. During the office hours, also I finished my board report. Meeting-wise, it's been a lot of one-on-ones with Lisa. There's been the story and ceremony, which was important, obviously, or else we wouldn't be here. Meetings with Sandra, and then meetings with just a couple campus partners, meetings with Gina, meetings with the executives one-on-one. It's been a lot of fun kind of helping them transition because they're helping me transition as well. I participated in the Peak Adventures Peak Adventures Director Committee search, and that was a lot of fun. If you don't know, Valerie is our new Peak Adventures Director, so shout out to her. And then we had our Director of Arts and Letters and our Director of Business that were appointed in as well, so that was a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of meetings, also, not a lot of meetings, a couple meetings with my chair for the Green Team. He's also shared with me what he has been doing to be recruiting students, and he's been doing an awesome job at doing that. I can really see his passion, so I want to thank Lexa for pointing me to him, or him to me, or whatever it was. Thank you for that, I appreciate it. Tabling, I did a couple of events transferring tabling, and it was a lot of fun. There's definitely a huge difference between the first year and the transfers. First years are just kind of going with the flow. The transfers know what they want. So there's definitely like a change of pitch that I had to do that. But it was a lot of fun. I look forward to Natalie and Lexa setting more tabling opportunities. And classroom presentations, I signed up for them and they're just getting started. I had a very engaging one today with an RPTA class, first years. They had a lot of questions, asked a lot of personal questions. But it was fun. It was fun engaging with them and doing that class presentation that I loved doing last year, so I'm happy to be back in it. That's all.
Okay, any questions? All right, moving to the next one from Jervisha Pudani, Vice President of Finance. Okay, I'm gonna run through this really quick. My office hours are Wednesday 12 to 1:50 and Thursday 3 to 5:10. Feel free to just come by or send me an email. My Instagram and email is on there as well. I am not going to read the whole note, I'm just going to read the conclusion. It says, in conclusion, I'm looking forward to making a difference at Sac State by focusing on our strategic priorities, which we passed today, and financial needs by serving the students with the best of my ability and with support of Mark, obviously, in service. For internal committees, I just summarized what the committee is going to do. I am the chair for F&B, which starts on September 20th, this following Tuesday, which will be held every other Tuesday from 2 to 5 in Canyon Room. This committee will oversee, manage all financial aspects of ASI and focus on reviewing, creating ASI yearly budget, which is going to come to you for approval at the end of the year. I am using my social media platform and outreach for students to join, and we have a full committee, which I am very proud of. For ASI Scholarship Committee, the scholarships are going to open up on September 23rd, and they are going to be due on October 21st. The flyers are already ready. We are waiting for Sac State ASI to post them, and I'm going to send it to you guys so you guys can post it on your social media. And I also expect all the directors to post it on their bulletin board. University committees, I'm already appointed on UEI board and student fee advisory committee with Gina. I'm really happy. This is my second year on there, and I really love that committee. For events and calendar, there's just a lot of stuff repeating, swearing in, and orientations, interviews for College of Business Director, and then meeting for DOC funding that we changed, and then the Seoul Leadership Conference. I also attended a bunch of events already. I have, I think, 4 already, and we barely started. I also had 1 presentation. I have 3 more lined up. And I'm also serving on the College of Business Dean Search Committee. The availability submitted, organization meeting was held On September 9, a few rounds of Zoom interviews and final in-person interviews are set already. Looking forward to being part of choosing someone or having a voice to make sure a really nice person becomes the College of Business Dean. Now for DOC, we already have funded 2 clubs after we passed. Oh, but there's only 30 seconds. After we passed, there's the 2 committees regular, and we just passed strategic priorities, so I don't have anything to say. But that's all. Thank you.
Any questions? Z?
Just a clarification for the ASI Scholarship Committee. When's the deadline to have people on that?
Larissa?
So I can still appoint them. There is one more legislation cycle where I can still appoint them. And once the applications are open, correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, or once that application deadline, I think once they're open, I cannot. But I can still take them. Just send them my way and I'll appoint them to the best of my ability.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to move over to Alexandra Estrella, Vice President of University Affairs.
Hello everyone. So my office hours are Monday and Wednesday 10 to 12 p.m. and then there's my contact information and a special note to the Hornets. So for all the committees that I sit on, I have been appointed. The last one was AICP today. And there is still no updates for that one. And then in my office hours, I met with the Weave Confidential Campus Advocates and then worked on legislation and contacted students to recruit for the university committees and then for campus events. In June, I tabled and then I had my couple orientations, and then in July, I met with Kayla and Laura regarding the ASI events, and then I had other events, and then I have already a couple ASI presentations for a couple classrooms. Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Laura?
Can you tell me what Weave is? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so Weave is an organization that talks about mental health as well as suicide and kind of like advocate for students. So I've been working with them to make sure that we're supporting them in that sense.
Any other questions? Gina?
WEAVE is an acronym that stands for Women Escaping a Violent Environment. And so their primary, although they do deal with all those things, their primary goal is to get women out of domestic violence situations and their children.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to Natalie Andrade Dominguez, Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Hello everyone, this is my first board report. My office hours are Wednesday 10 a.m. to 12 and Thursday 9 a.m. to 11. Contact information can be found on the board report. Just for my special notes, I do want to say thank you to my constituents for electing me as your VPAA, and if you guys need anything, please reach out to me. Internal committee updates, Student Academic Senate didn't start until the 23rd. And we're still recruiting students, so if you guys have any students interested, please send them my way. Any student can join, so if they're interested, just send them my way. University committees, I sit on Faculty Senate Executive and Faculty Senate. Those meetings have already started, and I'm getting used to the whole environment of being in Faculty Senate, and it's been an interesting experience. We've talked about a few things there, but I'll let you guys read that. For strategic priorities, I have already chosen my 4 strategic priorities to be on. For my office hours, I have met with several students, which I'm actually very happy that I've been doing that. I've been sending emails to students, whether they're interested in serving. I've also helped a lot of the college directors get more familiarized with committees and helping them through that process. I've met with a few of my designees to prepare them for meetings, created flyers for social media, and scheduled all of my class presentations. Some events that we had the ASI swearing ceremony, which will forever be my favorite thing in the world. Legislation training, a bunch of one-on-one meetings with people to help me prepare for this committee. And I would like to end it with my favorite thing I've done so far, have been my class presentations. They were so much fun, the tours. I got 40 new followers out of just class presentations, and like 6 students came to see me because of class presentations during my office hours. So that was really fun. Thank you.
Any questions? Laura?
I have been praising you for recruiting students. So would you mind sharing what is it that you're doing? Can you advise, you've advised me several times, but can you advise the board as well? What's working? What are you giving them?
Yeah, so act like a student, make it personal, be able to relate with them. I know that's been something that's really been helping me. When they can relate to you, then they want to get involved. Sometimes they feel very intimidated with, the board of directors, with people that they think that are above them. So talking to them like a student, talking to them like a friend really, really helped me make it personal, and have fun with it. Be yourself.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to the next one. All right, Gina Curry, University CFO Designate.
Hello, and thank you. As you'll see, elected board members, my board report looks different because I don't have all the same requirements you do. But I did want to note that I usually focus on things that are financial and or campus-wide or impact the campus. So I wanted to report that financial aid dispersed $115 million plus in the first 6 disbursements of the term, and that's more than $5 million at the same time last year, so that's really good. There has been a delay in middle class scholarship, and it's that's from the California Student Aid Commission, and they made some program changes that delayed the funding of MCS. So they expect those to pay in early October. If you have any students talking about that, that is a known situation from the California Student Aid Commission. We will continue disbursements of financial aid twice a week until the last week in September, and then they go to once a week after that. The CSU Board of Trustees met yesterday and today. The thing that's most important from a financial aspect is that we used to provide a package of funding requests for the next year, so this will be for 23-24. And we would normally do that, they would vote in the November trustees meeting and then begin advocacy before the January first initial budget passed for the governor in January. That changed this last year. They decided to move back that process by a couple of months, and they are voting on it today, or may have already done so. And it's a funding request. It's a funding request package. The reason they did that is to give them more time to advocate. And so I look around the room here because you're all part of that or can be part of that through Lobby Corps or other CSSA activities, and that is to fund the CSU. So if you're interested in checking out the package and what it looks like, it's there on the link that you can go to the agenda and actually find the Committee on Finance. It has the whole package listed there that they were going to present to the board. So that happened today. And then lastly, I just added some pictures of our awesome retreat. I did have to show the winners. I know that there are no losers, but we did show the winners of the Giant Tower. A pretty impressive one to boot. And then all of you with your hard work behind you and all the strategic priority planning. It was a marathon and a sprint, and y'all did a great job. And we voted on and approved them today. So congratulations to you for that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Laura?
So for that middle class scholarship, I remember students receiving it. How many is, like, throughout the academic year, how many times do they get it? Do they get it only one semester, or what does that look like?
It's once per semester, and it's a sliding scale calculation based on a lot of criteria that's part of the FAFSA process. So that's what CSAC looks at, or California Student Aid Commission looks at. So students get all different amounts of middle class. It used to be dispersed in November. Then they moved it back to the beginning of the year last year, and now CSAC moved it forward again into October.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Laura?
What's the time? 20 seconds.
I'll talk to you after.
Okay, moving forward, so Bill A. Bear, he did just arrive, this is his first week, so he does not have a board report just yet, but we will be expecting and looking forward to his next one at the next board meeting.
But welcome.
You survived a week.
Yeah, you did it. You made it.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving to the next one from Sandra Gallardo, the Executive Director.
Hi folks, so this is a really packed one because I'm updating you all on lots of things from the summer, so I do encourage you all to go online and read it, but I do want to highlight a couple things. We've already discussed that we work on retreat. I'm also I want to promote, because I am chairing the AOA Scholarship of Excellence this year. It's a $5,000 scholarship to any CSU student who has served and has service to an auxiliary organization. So I provide the link to the application here. I encourage you to promote it. It's also been promoted on our social media accounts as well. So it's a great opportunity. It also includes free transportation, and because the award is at our annual conference. This year the conference is in Sacramento, so it's not big travel, but normally it includes travel to the conference location somewhere in the state. I also want to point you out to the 2021-22 Strategic Priorities Final Report. I wrapped it up, all of the reports from last year, from all our various departments, including last year's board. What you just put together, all of my departments put together an identical plan on what their goals are for each year. So I just closed out. Next meeting, hopefully I'll be posting their goals for the coming year, which will also include your goals as well. So it's a complete package of all 6 ASI departments. So you can see the closeout report at the link attached as well. I did my university service this summer I was part of the interview day for the deans of students. So I did all of the interviews except for Bill's, where I had a conflict, but congratulations to Billy there. Oh goodness, if you can scroll down, I want to just make sure. Big welcome before Miguel Herrero as the CSSA liaison. So he's joining us at the board meetings. And I also, if you go down to the ASI elections officer, Jesus Contreras. So those are our 2 staff members. Please introduce yourselves if you haven't already to them as you see them. Quick updates to Peak Adventures. Trips, a big thing, a challenge that we're saying, and I want to just wrap Peak Adventures in the Aquatic Center just for your awareness. Weather continues to be challenging for us, so it's kind of a new world. I know Val is here. Part of my discussions ongoing for Brian, the director of the Aquatic Center, and Valerie is looking at. We're facing things we've never seen, like closures for heat, closures for smoke, so just more for an awareness. And just scroll down quickly because I want to give the update on Children's Center, the statistics right there on how many we have, and then the food pantry. We're seeing record numbers of attendance at the food pantry. We're seeing 80 to 100 each day now at the food pantry, which is a lot. But wanting to really push that the food pantry is for students in need. It's not because you forgot to buy your groceries. Sorry about that.
Okay, any questions? Your Bishop?
Is there anything else that you really want to highlight?
Thank you. It's just, I'd really like to provide you an update on all 6 departments at this point. So like, if you really do, you can see I have all dates for the free grocery pop-ups, the food pantry hours for the semester. I have the trips, the Peak Adventures trips that are happening this semester, including highlighting all the trips that are free. So it's a good, rich document that includes a lot of updates on all of our 6 departments. And I'm just trying to, give you the highlights. But the big one, the big one here is food pantry. We're seeing record numbers. Children's Center, we're reopening. We're almost at pre-pandemic levels with 100. And I think if you could scroll back, I don't want to misrepresent. We have 153 children back in place with 51 new families. Oh, and the diaper distribution. I'm sure that you all have heard. The diaper distribution is very popular. Just recorded a piece with CBS yesterday, news about 50 diapers for free to anyone in the community. It doesn't have to be a Sac State student, no income requirements.
All right, moving forward, we have Mark Montalvo, the Director of Finance and Administration.
Thank you, Chair. So as Sandra said earlier, The summertime is really busy for accounting services, literally since June, July, August, so they're nonstop with the year-end close, so HP can now approve those vacations for your staff. Venture out and have some fun. But I appreciate them getting everything done, and the second bullet point really just talks about the auditors and our role from August on. We've been dealing with them, and they've done a great job for us. But I also want to mention Keiko ISM, that's our auditors. They're merging with another company, and we are going to go out for an RFP, request for proposal, and I'll give you more information on future board reports. But it's going to be all 5 auxiliaries. It's going to be UEI, Union Well, ASI, Capital Public Radio, and Foundation. Oh, good, I remembered all 5 auxiliaries. That was one of the quiz questions. So we're all going to go, and it really helps to have the same auditors because we speak the same language. They're looking at the same things, especially when you owe money to them, they owe money to you, back and forth. It's a very easy fix on that way. If you have the same auditors, you don't have to go delve too far. So that's in the process. Craig Barth from UEI is going to be heading that up. We have committee members forming. And the last one I'll mention is our point of sale system, Perfect Minds. We started that in the springtime, even maybe a little bit earlier, but we kind of slowed down a little bit during the summer because our units that use the POS system, point of sale system, Aquatic Center and Peak Adventures are just slammed during the summertime. So it slowed down a little bit, but now that camps are over, maybe it slows down a little bit for them. We'll pick that up, and the committee's back together, and hopefully, I think last I heard was around mid-November, we may have a new point of sale system. And one of the things that they're looking forward to, and it's been a while coming, I know all these other companies, there are all these fun places in California do online waivers, but the issue system hasn't wanted to do online waivers for a while. So now they're going to be implementing online waivers. So I think Valerie over here in the Peak Adventures and Aquatic Center are ecstatic about getting away from paper waivers. That sounds archaic, but believe it or not, we're still using those. So more to follow on that, but turn it back over to the chair.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to move forward with Rob Reyes, Director of Learning and Unlearning, Office for Cultural Transformation and Division of Inclusive Excellence.
Hi, so if you could scroll up just a tiny bit. Thank you. I am going to read my message to you all because you're all students as well, and I think it's important to remember that. So welcome back, Hornets, the Division of Inclusive Excellence is thrilled to see you all return for another exciting year on the campus. We have been planning all summer to prepare for academic year 22-23, and there are many new programs, projects, and initiatives being developed that have been designed to ensure the effective implementation of our anti-racism and inclusive campus plan. As we continue our year of believing, we continue to remind the campus that believing encompasses 2 important concepts. 1, believing that we as an institution have some problems with racism, exclusion, and overall oppression. And 2, believing that collectively we can do something about it. So as the new year begins, remember that all are welcome at Sac State. There are many resources to help support your success, and that there will be many opportunities for community engagement as well as personal and educational development beyond the classroom environment alone. Make sure to keep up your emails, read Sac Sends, check campus event calendars, register to attend programs, and most importantly, to make time for your mental and emotional health through the fall semester. It's an exciting time to learn and build communities that take advantage whenever you can. Just so you're aware, our division is new and it's building, so really the 2 most important things are we welcomed our inaugural Associate Vice President for Inclusive Excellence, Michael Nguyen, as well as our inaugural Director for Universal Inclusion. Her name is Jennifer Murchison, and she'll be working on access and accessibility for the community. We are doing a lot of work in terms of creating institutional change. We began working with the families within administration and business affairs to help support their DEI efforts and also help them align their professional and campus roles with the institutional change process. So those are just some of the things that are coming up. I've mentioned before that the Anti-Racism Symposium is coming up on October 28th. It has just been elevated to a 75th year anniversary event, which means that during the symposium we will be viewing the GI 2025 convening, so that should take away any barriers many students or campus stakeholders to come and attend. And also our Green and Gold Speaker Series welcomed author, disability rights activist and advocate Haben Girma on Monday. I mean, for me, it was an incredible event. I hope everyone who attended felt there was a giant impact. For this close in the year, we've never had so many attendees, which reached, I believe, 515 from campus stakeholders from diverse groups. Yeah, and in November, we're gonna welcome two chief tribal justices who will come to talk about restorative justice and their work in the U.S. Thank you.
Any questions? Chris?
Yeah, is there anything from the report you'd like to highlight again?
Thank you. Actually, there's one thing that I'm very excited about. I did mention it in sort of the office hours, but I didn't really call it out. So the ICCP, which is the Inclusive Champion Certificate Program, is a self-guided modular learning program that's going to deal with all things DEI, as well as building capacity for inclusive mindsets, challenging through activism and advocacy, anti-racism and anti-oppression. It really leverages the LinkedIn Learning modules that are available to faculty and staff, as well as CSU Learn modules that have been available but not necessarily leveraged in the past. It's going to go into pilot, and it's free and available for any faculty and staff member who'd like to take it and provide feedback so we can make it better for the campus community once it's ready to launch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any announcements? Alexa.
Tomorrow there will be the block party, so we will be tabling. Thank you all. Thank you to those who registered to table, and there will be other tabling opportunities. Just to quickly highlight, we are looking for, we need students for these university committees, which is the AICP Advisory Committee, Campus Strategic Planning, CAP Public Radio, Police Advisory, and Student Fee Advisory. I have a list, so if you would like to look at it, please let me know. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Okay. So for joint council kickoff, I already approved 3 directors. ASI already had his event today. I have approved Paige and Chris. I highly encourage you all to come talk to me. I have heard a bunch of stuff about you trying to build up joint council, which is great. Just make sure you're in constant communication with me. Also, now that the priorities have been adopted, you will want to tap into that money. Please make sure you come to me so we can start using the priority funds just to ensure that we are doing events. Make sure it's at least done before the Tuesday of working board meeting, because that's one legislation cycle you won't be able to add it again. There is an ASI and SACIP. What is the SACIP? SACIP is Student Academic Success and Educational Equity Programs. Meet and greet on Zoom on September 28th at 10 a.m. I hope a lot of you can attend since it's on Zoom. I will forward you more information. There is a doc workshop. I already forwarded it on Instagram. September 29th, 3 to 4. In University Union. I already put flyers in your mailboxes. Check your mailboxes, put it on your bulletin boards, please. We need to make sure all the clubs are using their $600 without the application now. And I think that's it. Okay. Sandra?
Hi, folks. I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow's the biggest party of the year, ASI Block Party. We're going to have 20 campus partners tabling in addition to our ASI divisions. Please go out and remember to, I'm looking at Sala. Well, tomorrow 3 to 5 in the Residence Hall Quad, there was going to be food, t-shirts, crafts, a mechanical bull, just a lot of fun. It's carnival environment. I'm hoping, keep looking at the weather, hope it holds and we have a nice, good 80s weather. So please come, please come.
Selma?
I just want to add to Sandra, please remind students to bring their one cards. You're going to need it to get into the event and to get a food voucher. So if you want food, bring your ID, encourage other students to bring their one card, you know, go on eat.
Okay, any other announcements? I don't know.
Hello, everyone. For my first announcement, it goes out to the board of directors. Bernice, she is the EOP Scholar Coordinator. EOP stands for Educational Office Opportunity Program. Thank you, Selma. And she is asking for 2 board members just to go to the conference. It is on November 7th. There's 2 workshops. One of them is from 1 to 1:50 and 2 to 2:50. I will be going, so I am needing one person. I am the contact for this event. So just because she reached out to me thinking that I was all of us, but that's okay. So if you're interested, please let me know. I told her that I'm going to let her know by the end of the week, just that she knows her schedule. Let me know which workshop. And this goes out to the execs also too, it's not just the board of directors. And we are asked to talk about our roles, what we do with ASI, and how can we help students get more involved. So for committees, that's something that we can talk about. But this is kind of for I'm gonna mess this board up, and I'm so sorry. Constituency. Sorry. I am trying to get our joint council up and going. I have the honor of having a joint council president. So that's amazing. So please reach out to my Instagram or my email, and it's also on the bulletin board as well to join. I am looking for, anyone can be on it, but just to make the club active, we have our president, we need our treasurer. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Laura?
Okay, so a couple things for you. You guys saw what board reports look like. College directors, yours are next. You do not have to read your No to Your Hornets. Again, it's posted. You can choose to, but that's taking up from your time that you're, you need to highlight what you're doing. So I'm gonna leave that up to you. Preferably, I would advise you to not, unless you absolutely need to, or just summarize it. Lexa and Natalie on tabling, they've been doing an awesome job at doing that. Let's make sure to be timely about, this, myself included, obviously, to let them know where we can table or not. Again, in order for it to count as an event, you have to table for an hour, and if it's multiple, like an event that's taking place for multiple days, just 1 hour, that counts as one event. Not because you do however many hours, it counts as one, two, or just the equivalent of one event. Just want to clarify that. I mentioned board check-ins, and I decided that instead of sending you guys a sign-up link similar to the one that Alexa put up, I'm just going to crash your office hours. So, yeah, your office hours, because if you're not there and we are doing a board check-in, I mean, you have to be at your office hours. So I'll be coming around your office hours to do board check-ins. Committee recruiting, tabling, that's basically where it's going to happen in class presentations like Natalie alluded to. Emailing calendar invites, just make sure to stay on top of those. If there is anything that's super timely, just mark it as urgent, whether it's to me or to somebody else, but just make sure to be answering those. Get started on your priorities as soon as you know. Some of you already started, that's amazing, but it's going to get busy. So the sooner you can get, like Darish said, your joint council taken care of, your joint council event, do it, because it's going to continue to get busy. Your office hours have started. They should have started last week. Let's see, and I'm also going to go around, I don't know if I'll do it next week or the week after. I'll give you guys some time to check your bulletin boards. You're supposed to be updating that twice a month, and I'm going to be checking. I think I know where all of them are, but in case I don't, I'm going to be emailing you and asking you, but just make sure to keep those updated for accountability purposes. And then the events that Dravisha talked about and the event that Adol talked about, those count either towards your campus, university events, or a presentation. You're in a panel, you're going to be talking about ASI, that counts as a presentation. And that's a great way also to recruit your constituents to serve on committees or just getting involved with the board and whatever's going on. That's all from me.
Okay, any other announcements? Selma?
All right, guys. We're in the third week of school. We're starting to get a lot of homework assignments. Tests are going to be starting to come up. Remember, we are student leaders. Remember, we can't not go to class. We can't not do our homework. We need to maintain our grades because I don't want to have to come for you at the end of the semester when we don't make grades because Sandra will cry. Let's not do that. So let's not stress ourselves out. Maintain your schedules. Be realistic with yourself and be honest with us on what your capacity is. Because if you need extra help, then I'm more than willing to do that. Our executive team is more than willing to help out with whatever you need. That goes for execs as well. Remember, we rely on each other to get things done. You're not by yourself, you're not on an island, we work as a team. So please drink water, eat, sleep, do your responsibilities, and I think we're gonna have a great year.
Okay, any other announcements? Miguel?
Yes, just to remind you guys that Lobby Corps is going to have their first meeting on September 22nd, which is next Thursday. I think it's required that some of you guys attend this meeting, and we're going to have a guest speaker. I butcher his last name, but his name is Nathan Dietrich. I apologize for that. He's the Associate Vice President of Public Affairs and Advocacy here at Sac State. So I encourage you guys to come and get a head start of our 2022-2023 academic year on legislative affairs. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Alexa?
I would like to quickly say that when I send out emails about tabling opportunities, you have 48 hours to reply. If I send the sign-up sheet and you sign up and you have it in the 48 hours or the timeline that I give you, don't just email me and tell me that you're going to table, because that's why the sign-up sheet is there, and then that gets me kind of like concerned as to like who's going to be there, and then I have to also like put it on the sign-up sheet. So please communicate with me, and if you know that you're not able to attend, please let me know as soon as possible, and don't sign up and then tell me that you're not able to, because then I have to look for somebody else. Thank you.
Okay, any other announcements? Lisa.
Actually, just realized this. So next Tuesday is National Voter Registration Day, and your Civic Engagement Coordinator, Lexi Tesh, will be out there along with hopefully many of you. This is one of your strategic priorities that you just approved. So going out there and tabling and being there for an hour would count as one of your OGA events. If you're out there, we're going to have iPads available to do voter registration. A little bit more about voter registration. You all should be registered if you're able to. If not, you should be encouraging others to register to vote and be educated on the issues that will be on the ballot on November 8th. We do have a vote center here on the Sac State campus that we encourage our students to go to. And Lexi will be reaching out to some of you who signed up for that priority to see if we can plan an event for October to really encourage to get out to vote for November. But be out there, we'll be out in the library quad from 10 until 2. And so you can reach out to Lexi. She has sent out a couple emails to y'all. So hopefully you've responded to her on that, and that's not new news. But this helps you to participate in the College Ballot Bowl. When we last had the results on Friday, we are in 6th place. Even though I posted on the OGA page for Instagram over the summer when it first started. So come on, folks, help me out on this, and let's get some more student voters. If y'all moved, change your voter registration. Bill will make sure that you get the link so that you can register also. And if you have any questions, reach out to Lexi or I.
Any other announcements? So we are adjourned at 3:58 p.m.